everyone, I am back with another silhouette tutorial today. This one is just to kind of quickly go over how I create my cut lines when I don't have a cut line file that is included with any of my downloaded or purchased printable planner stickers. So I had previously gotten some free downloads from a place called Pink Bows and Twinkle Toes. I will put the link in the description. She has a ton of free printable planner stickers on her site. So they do not come with cut lines. You have to figure out how to cut them on your own. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to show you how I put cut lines on mine. So I'm going to open the file, and it's already right here. It's Pink Bows and Twinkle Toes. So I've done a few of them. This one is kind of a work in progress. I've done these little cupcakes here, these little hedgehogs. This is the birthday one. This is a floral one, cherries. Another cupcake one in purple. This is flowers, like spring fling. I did some watermelons, which I've already used this set in my planner. They're super cute. Here's a Valentine one. So these don't come with cut files, and they actually, when you download them, they are PDF files. With the regular version of the Silhouette Studio that comes with your silhouette, you cannot open PDF files. So you have to figure out how to convert this over to a JPEG. If you own the designer edition of the Silhouette Studio, you can open PDF files. I do not have the designer edition, so, and I think that she's the one that provided, or someone provided on one of their sites when I was downloading some stuff, a PDF to JPEG converter. It's online. So I bookmarked it, and that's exactly how I did mine. You just put your PDFs up there, it converts it to a JPEG, and you resave it. So all these are JPEGs now. So I'm gonna let's do this spring fling one. So I'm just gonna open it up. This is what it looks like. And the first thing I'm going to do is put my registration marks on here, since I'm going to print and cut it. I'm not going to actually print and cut on camera. So there we have our registration marks, and this one's a little close to the bottom here, and this red line is the print line, and it's way too close. So I'm going to take my position, and I'm going to move everything to the far left, and it's going to open up this box here. But it's still not helping me. So I'm going to click on the image. I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to go up a little bit more. And I'm going to go to the left. I'm just going to kind of try to line this up inside the red marks here. And the title on the top doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to use that as a sticker. So I think we're good there. Okay. So after you get everything centered the way that you need it, needs to be inside the red lines, then I'm going to zoom in about 3 times so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, first thing I start off with is the easiest, which is going to be tracing or creating a line for the full boxes. So all I do is I come to my rectangle, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to start with this blue one here, because I'll be able to see that one a little bit better. And I'm actually going to, before I start doing that, I'm going to come over here to the open the line color window. I'm going to make sure that my line color is on a pretty bright red. And then I'm going to create my line. This is going to have me be able to see it better. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to highlight my box, that I have got my lines pretty good. So there we have it. So all we're going to do is take this and we're going to copy that box and we're going to paste it and we're going to drag it over here and drop it on top of this one, and there you go. So we're going to do the same with the next box. Paste it. We're going to drag it over here. And I just use the up, down, left, right arrow keys to center it, and there you go. So that's how you do the full box. I'm not going to do every single one of these with you guys. I'm just going to show you the basics. And then in order to get these rounded boxes, all I'm going to do is come up here and I'm going to click my trace tool. I'm going to select my trace area and then I'm going to trace one of these and then I'm going to hit trace outer edge and it put a line all the way around the edge. So I'm going to select that line. I'm going to hit copy and paste. I'm going to take that line and move it up over to this one. Just like that. So we're going to do it again. And then you'll just do this until all of your little boxes are outlined. Just like that. This one, there's only one more, so let's just go ahead and do it. Oops. And if you do that, all you do is hit the undo. Love that thing. And then you select your box again. Did it again. Select your box carefully and move it. There we go. So there we have perfectly traced. I think these are quarter boxes. So here's our half boxes. And let's see, we want one that's going to actually trace really well, which I think would be this yellow one here. Sometimes the lighter colors don't pick up very well. So again, we're just going to trace it. And we're going to hit trace, and then we're going to select it. This corner is kind of a little choppy here. So actually I'm going to redo that trace by trying to fill that box in a little bit more. By just kind of playing with the high pass filter here. Then I'm going to trace it. That's a little more rounded for me. So I'm going to select it, copy and paste it. Scroll down a little bit here, and then we're just going to move it on to the next one. And use those arrow keys to just line it back up. And then we'll go ahead and do the next one since it's just, whoops, since there's just 3 of these. And drop it down, move it over. Okay, so there we go. Then as far as a shape goes, let's go ahead and trace the pink one. And it's going to highlight that computer. And we're going to take our high pass filter and kind of fill it in a little bit more because we don't want it to cut in the middle of this area here where they don't meet. So I'm just kind of filling it in. Okay, and then I'm going to trace the outer edge. So it traced the little laptop and it did not put a cut line right in the center. So again, we're going to select it, copy and paste it. Oh, see, that corner got kind of squared off. Okay, let's do that again. I'm going to pull this out a little bit more so I can see this corner here. We'll kind of fill that in a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna mess with the threshold really fast and see if that'll kind of fill in that corner. And let's try that. Trace the outer edge. It's still kind of squared off. So let's try putting the low pass on. No, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. I'm just kind of playing around to try to get a more rounded corner. There, I think I got it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit copy and paste. There we go. Just a kind of a matter of playing around with them. And there's our trace job, so then we're going to paste it again. Whoops, and we moved the whole thing. No, that's not what I want to do. Come on. Nope. Whoops. Undo. Okay, let's undo that. There we go. And we'll just pop this right on top of this one, and there we go. So there we have our little laptops are done. These are just squares that all you would do is the same thing that you did up here for the full boxes, is you would just trace one and then copy and paste it. So that's the same thing. These little banners are a matter of tracing and then copying and pasting those. So we definitely want to fill this one in somewhere. If you can see that blue right there, we don't want that there. So we're going to fill up this box as much as we can. Okay, that's not filling up the box. Okay, let's try the threshold again. That's going to fill up the box. So as you can see, there's still some blue, and this would go up and then over. We're going to just try to get it to kind of fill up. So all I'm doing is using this threshold and kind of filling in that box. Then we're going to hit trace the outer edge, and it gives us the outline of that banner. So we'll click on it, and then we'll copy and paste it, and then it will go directly on top of all of the other banners. Or it should anyway. So there we go. And then you would just do that for the rest of the banners. Then we've got these little squiggly lines up here, and this is another matter of tracing, and I'm actually going to try to do this whole section. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, so let's give this one a shot. Now we are going to take the threshold and we're just going to pull it to where this is kind of thick, but then we don't want that outside showing. We're going to take the high pass filter and we're going to kind of pull this over, and it's going to make these lines a lot thicker, which is, whoops, what we want it to do. And then I hit the low pass, and that thickens up the line. Whoops. So then we're going to hit trace outer edge. That didn't, well, okay. We want to offset this. I'm not a pro at offsetting. I'm still learning how to do that. So I'm going to go up with the threshold again and thicken these lines. So if you noticed, and then it did that to the bottom, and I don't want to do that. So let's just kind of play with this a minute. A little bit more, come on. There's one piece right here, and I don't want that attached. Okay, so let's try this one. So there you've got like the little squigglies. It'll trace the outside of them. If you want it perfectly, then you just sit here and play with the threshold and stuff, or you can trace it to where it's very snug, and then you can use the offset, but I'm still learning how to use that. So, but that's the gist of how to get the shapes. These shapes may be slightly easier, so let's go ahead and do a flower. And it may trace this flower a little bit better because the colors are darker for one. And it might be a little easier. And we're going to take our threshold and kind of thicken that up. We're going to trace the outer edge. So this traced the outer edge very nicely. So let's go ahead and see if we can copy and paste that one to the other flowers. Copy and paste. And we'll just move it over and see if these flowers are the same or not. And they're not. So that's not going to work. You'll have to do each flower individually. So some of them work and some of them don't. But you would do this flower the same way. And then when you've got this is the first time I've seen this shape. So let's go ahead and give this one a shot and see if we can do this one, because I'm not really sure how it's going to react to like the shape and the square. It's just doing the shape. So it's going to be a matter of playing with these. No, we don't want the low pass on. Oh, okay, so if we hit the threshold and we do it slowly, it might connect. No, it's... Okay, so let's try the filter. That's not going to work either. Okay, this one I'm going to actually have to play with because it's tracing it all funny because it's not connecting these lines here. So I do have another idea. I'm going to undo all of this. Come on. I guess I did a lot with that one. Okay. I'll just undo that one too. Okay, here, we're just going to delete that. Okay, so we're going to go down and I'm going to trace, no, I'm going to do the rectangle first. I'm going to start on this side. So I'm going to do this rectangle and it's going to go into my flower, but that's okay. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to trace this. Okay, so then we're going to move this like this, and then we're going to trace the outer edge of that. So then it's got this like this, and we don't want that to print or cut right there. So I'm going to, whoops, no, undo. Okay, how am I going to do this? I want to be able to group these together. Okay, so I just what did I do? I selected all. I don't want to really select all, so I'm going to try to do this. Let's try to group it. No, that didn't work. Okay, let's undo that. Okay, maybe if we just pull this over. Let's try it this way. Then we'll fill it up. This, like I said, this is the first time that I've done this shape. So, let's go ahead and trace that. And then let's delete this. There we go. Okay, that wasn't so complicated. It took me a minute to do that one. So that's how you do that one. And then let's move on to, see, that flower's going to be the same, just kind of tracing and selecting. These are going to be the same. So let's do some of these here. This is going to be our weekend banner. So let's go ahead and trace that. See if we can get these hearts to cut out. Okay, so we're gonna kind of thicken that high pass filter, and then we're gonna trace the outer edge. So that worked out pretty well. And then all of these are just a matter of, I like to just take a circle and just kind of play with it to get it to go around these little circle stickers. So there we go. Then we'll just copy and paste it, and then you'll just line this up with all of the little circles. So doing the circle is just like doing the square. So that's how you do those. And then these, if you wanted these to be a whole strip, you would have to select them all, and then I think you would have to turn this up a lot, maybe the threshold. I'm not really sure how you would get these to connect. I don't think these were meant to be one piece, so I'm gonna undo all of that. And I would actually, personally, just do these individually by just tracing the outer edge and then seeing if I could move this to the next one. And it looks like these ones line up. So you could just copy and paste and have all these little individual flowers that you can kind of randomly put all over in your planner, which is what I would personally do with them. Then we have these banners here, and this is the same thing as the other banner. So we're just gonna take it and we're gonna trace it, but we're gonna make sure that we fill it in first. There, we don't want that yellow part on the bottom. Why it keeps putting it there, I don't know. There we go. Okay, so let's try tracing this one. Oh, it got that other one on the side. Shoot. I had it way too close. Okay. Trace. Then we can copy and paste this one. Oops. If we can select it, let me try to grab it from the bottom here. Nope. There we go. And then we would just paste it right on top of the next one. Use those keys. So there you go. That's how I put cut lines. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let me click that one off. But you can see it's got the little red lines. So you would just go through and do this entire page, which I'm not going to do. So I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Then you would go ahead and just do your print and load it into your silhouette. And when you hit your cut, it should highlight all of your red lines. So here's where it's going to cut. It's going to cut out the circles and the flower. This one, it's actually going to cut right exactly where I wanted it to. This one's going to cut the flower out. These are kind of, I would spend a little more time on these myself, trying to get those a little bit offset. And then all of these lines that we created down here, so it would actually cut those. Then you're just going to pull this down and hit white sticker paper again. Then you would make sure that your blade is at 1 and that the blade on your machine is actually set to 1. And then you would send it to your silhouette. It'll read your registration marks and then it should start cutting. So that is how I personally create my cut lines for files that don't have them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll put some links in the description for you. Oh, sorry about the yawning. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.